people, it's me, Anja. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to a new video. So today's video is my original Autistic BookTuber tag because April is Autistic Awareness Month and I am so excited. So yeah, I know I already created a disabled BookTuber tag a few months ago, but I wanted to create a more specific tag, like centering on my autism, because if you didn't know, I'm autistic. We love to see it. I was diagnosed like 5 years ago, so yeah, here we are. Anyway, the first question is most underrated book with autism representation. I said this in my disabled BookTuber tag, but I feel like there are so many books out there that are underrated with autism representation. In fact, I feel like all books with autism representation are underrated since autistic people are so underrepresented. You know what I mean? So the first book that comes to mind is called Real, written by Cujec. I think that's how you pronounce her last name. I'm not completely sure. I read this book a few weeks ago and it's such a new release, so that's why I think that this book is the most underrated book with autism representation, and it was so good. Like I said, I read it a few weeks ago and it was so good, and I rated it 4 stars, and I would highly recommend it, and I will leave in the description below the recent reads video where I talked about it in a little bit more detail in case you're interested. So yeah, there's that. The second question is, which book with autism representation do you resonate with the most? For me, I would definitely say Get a Grip, Vivy Cohen, written by Kapit. I think that's how you pronounce her last name. I'm not completely sure if it's Kapit or Kapit, you know? So anyway, Get a Grip, Vivy Cohen is middle-grade contemporary, and it's absolutely so good. I know I've talked about it pretty recently because A, I just read the author's second book, and B, I talked about it in my favorite books written in epistolary format. So yeah, I'm so sorry if this video is very repetitive when it comes to the books that I've recommended. Anyway, I would say Get a Grip, Vivy Cohen, because I can really resonate with Vivy's frustrations with her mom, especially. So yeah, I really enjoyed this book because it's absolutely so good, and the autism representation is so spot on and wonderful and lovely. So yeah, there's that. The third question is, which book with autism representation would you recommend to your younger self? So I would definitely say Get a Grip, Vivy Cohen, just right off the bat, because like I said, that's the one that I really resonated with the most. And I know that the book didn't exist when I was younger. I think that it's a little bit, I think it was published in at least the last 5 years. So like I said, I was only diagnosed with my autism within the last 5 years, and I wish that I had been diagnosed like 12 years ago, you know what I mean? Or at least like 10 years ago. So anyway, I know that Get a Grip, Vivy Cohen didn't exist at the time when I wish that I had been diagnosed instead of at the time when I had been actually diagnosed. I don't know if that makes any sense, but essentially a book that I would recommend to my younger self, to my specifically younger undiagnosed self, I would say definitely Planet Author's Blue, which is one of my favorite books with autism representation, and it was so good. Again, I know I've talked about this book recently in my favorite middle grade historical fiction books part 2, because this book is absolutely so good. It's set during the Challenger launch, or actually like right before the Challenger launch, and it's absolutely so good. It's so emotionally touching. It's so good. The autism rep is absolutely amazing. I love the plot. I love the world building. I love the setting. This book is so good, and I would highly recommend it. So yeah, it's absolutely so amazing. There's that. The fourth question is, what's your favorite book with autism representation starring a person of color? To be quite honest, I don't have an answer for this, which is so sad, because I know that the majority of the books that I've read with autism representation all have white characters as the main character. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's so sad, because obviously there are so many autistic people of color who deserve to have their story and their perspective represented. You know what I mean? Like, I'm an autistic person of color, and I would love to see an autistic person of color as the main character. You know, I feel like maybe that comes from the fact that autism is so undiagnosed. You know what I mean? Like, it goes so undiagnosed in people, and that's just so sad, because like I said, I wish that I had been diagnosed with my autism 12 years ago instead of just 5 years ago. And like people of color also go undiagnosed as well, and I feel like that comes from like racial stereotypes and stuff like that, which are really, really harmful, because like I said, like people of color deserve to have themselves represented at the same time as like their fellow white counterparts. You know what I mean? Especially when it comes to having disabilities, you know? Anyway, I could go off and go into rant territory, but like there's no need for that. And anyway, the point is that we have a long way to go when it comes to like representing diversity. And if you are excluding disabled people in your diverse books, then you're not really a diverse reader. You know what I mean? Like, please read books about autistic people, and please write more books about autistic people, but especially for autistic people of color, because we deserve it. And even if we didn't deserve it, it needs to be done. You know, the work needs to be done. And so yeah, I just said that I wasn't going to enter rant territory, but then I did. So yeah. Anyway, the fifth question is most anticipated new releases with autism representation. Honestly, I can only think of 2 books, which is one of them is the sequel to Can You See Me, written by Libby Scott and Rebecca something or another, and the second one is called Moonwalking, and I don't remember when it comes out. I think those 2 books both come out this year, but I'm not completely sure when. So yeah, there's that. That's the end of the Autistic BookTuber tag. I tag all of my fellow autistic booktubers. And yeah, if you enjoy this video, please don't hesitate to give it a big thumbs up. Comment down below the red heart emoji. Happy Autistic, Happy Autism Awareness Month. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel if you're new. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.